We give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua Mashiach, our Master and King. John chapter 5, verse 39. We try to continue on from some things that we looked at last evening on a myriad of things, man. We'll just see how it goes and go where he leads. John 5:39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. You know, come over here to Matthew chapter 16, about verse 26. You know, just seeing that dude earlier talking about Hamashiach ain't coming back, and he wasn't real. Stuff there just work my nerves sometimes. Make it verse 24 though. We gonna get to the stuff I had in mind, but sometimes that stuff just work my nerves. Dudes just be talking just to be talking, saying stuff just to be saying stuff. You know, that was your homeboy said that, Troy. That was your homeboy Chris with that nonsense. Talking about Mashiach ain't. Say he ran into IUIC in the street and he was obliterating a 12 tribe chart, you know what I'm saying? And they told him he was a real knowledgeable brother until they asked him where his fringes was at. And then something else, and then after that he stated something about well, you got to do something with a Mashiach, and he was like, man, a Mashiach ain't coming back. Then they called him a reprobate. Then he said, how can I go from being intelligent to being a reprobate? Shoot, because you was reprobate the whole time. They just didn't know how stupid you was. You kept on talking. You pretty much showed them. You know what I'm saying? You know the words are fool counted wise when he keep his mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? 16 and 24 of Matthew. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his affliction and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? You know, that's again what I was just talking to y'all about. You know, we're not finna go into that in great detail right now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to have some manner of success for yourself or seeking after that, but you got to keep it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in this word, you sit back and see that there, man, the desires of the things of this world got them in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Saul, it got him in trouble. That stuff looked real nice to him. He lost his soul behind that. You know what I'm saying? Because he tried to exchange it out. He tried to swap that out. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, you know, I got a goal, I got a plan, I want to accomplish that. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Just don't let that interfere with your service to y'all, because then you're going to be in trouble, because there's nothing you can get. It. You know, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. It might have been last week, actually. About, you know, he said, what can a man give for the exchange for his brother, redemption of his brother? You know what I'm saying? The redemption of his brother's soul is precious. It's priceless. There's nothing you can offer. This man had already gave you the exchange for your soul. It was his blood. There's nothing that any of us can offer. You know what I'm saying? So then you're going to have to sit back and look at that. Is what you going after, is that worth the swap out? You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be swapping something now. You know they say even swap, no swindle. That's a swindle right there. You know what I'm saying? You said back, we can actually look at that and even see that with Eve. She gained the whole world, but she lost her life though. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make me wise. It's going to make me as God. I'm going to get everything that my heart could desire. But I'm going to die for it, though. Verse 27, for the Son of Man shall come in the esteem of his Father with his Malachim. Then he shall reward every man according to his works. Truly I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So I want y'all to come over here since he said that, and let's get Daniel 12 and 1. He said that this man will come in the esteem of his fathers with the mighty Malachim. Now we're going to look at something, and we're going to look and see what this word means, this man's name means in Hebrew before we proceed here in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. Because you got these people believing that that Michael, the messenger Michael, is the one who coming back to get us because of this statement that we about to read in Daniel chapter 12. But we also know that what? Search the scriptures, because in them you think you have eternal life. And these things are actually talking about me. You know, a lot of people say a lot of things. but they just be talking. Y'all ever heard of something called Eber Math? Y'all ever heard of that term?
Eber Math.
Eber Math. I seen that last night. It's a dude that he said we're not Hebrews. He said we're Eber. So he said we're not Hebrews, we Eber. I know what he is getting it from. You know what I'm saying? He said we not Hebrews, we Eber. I guess we're gonna have to look at that too. But then he's saying that the form of Hebrew that they speak is not the same that we speak. Like I seen him trying to break down Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 and the stuff that he was saying, like, see, it don't say that right here. See, there's no and here, and there's no is here. And see, fear, it doesn't mean fear. It means to respect or honor. And I'm like, you fool. That's what fear means. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what's so smart, you stupid. It came from because somebody posted our alphabet. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, they were starting to study Hebrew. And then he tried to get at him saying, man, you need to put that garbage down and get with this and get with us. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the real Eber Math. You better get on this Eber Math. Like he'll say Yahuwah, but he spell it like Y-A-H, 2 O's, an A and an H. And then he don't say Yahushua, he say, man, I don't know what it was, but it's crazy though. I ain't never heard of it either till last night. Now, any of y'all in here know what the name Michael means? Absolutely. That's what it means. That's what it means. Who is like Elohim? Hold on, we're going to look at the whole key thing now. One of the chief or first described Ark Malachim, who is described as one who stands in time of conflict for the children of Yasharal. And then it's just people that's in particular tribes. But in this particular instance, we looking like one who is like the Most High. So since we've ascertained that Michael means one who is like the Most High, and we know that search the scriptures for in them you think you have eternal life and they're speaking of me, then we're going to have to see how Mashiach correlates to Michael now, wouldn't we? So let's go back and let's look at certain things of seeing like how he would be like the Most High. Let's look at John chapter 5 and verse 16 first, and then we just going to take our time. Because you know what this actually tail into? What we looked at last night in Isaiah, right? Who will you liken to me, right? Who is like me? Well, if Michael means one who is like Yah, you know what I'm talking about? What's happening, John? You know what I'm saying? Big blank. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to ascertain that. We're going to have to break that down there. John 5 and 16. Let me get on around now. Y'all be patient with me. Well, you done got a chance to write a record for them boys yet? Said they waiting on me, man. Troy said he ready to spit a rhyme too. You gonna write a rhyme for it, Troy? You got some ready? Look at it. You're not even looking serious too. What, smiling or not? Ooh, what Troy say you spit. Real life spit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna need Lank to come on like they said. Lank, you don't have to come up with a verse or two then. So you ain't scared now. And guess what that means? I mean we need Mike. We need Mike Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? I can already see the formulation in my mind. You know what I'm saying? You got Core doing the lead in. You know what I'm talking about? With his special brand of singing. You know what I'm talking about? Let him do the hook. They dropped the rhymes, man. I'm telling you. And you know what you do after that? You put it on out there. See if somebody like it. They tell you it's up. I don't know you. You gonna make them like it. Said we're gonna make them like it. John 5 and 16. I know that right. He said we're gonna make you love it. You love this song. It say, and therefore did the Yahudim persecute him and sought to slay him because he had done these things on the Shabbat day. But Yahusha answered them, my father worked hitherto and I work. Therefore the Yahudim sought the more to kill him because he had not only had broken the Shabbat, but said also that Elohim was his father, making himself equal with Elohim. Then answered Yahusha and said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself but what he see the Father do. For what things soever he do, these also do the Son likewise. So if Michael means one who is like Elohim, then we're going to have to look at that, ain't we? We're going to have to look at that. So he just pretty much said that right here. He's like Elohim then, ain't he? What's one of the first things you could sit back and where you could ascertain that Let's go down a little bit and let's look at a statement that Mashiach made when it pertained to that. Right on down here to verse 26. Right on down here to verse 26. 5 and 26. Let's look at what he said. For as the Father have life in himself, so have he given to the Son to have life in himself. And he have given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. So we see two things that he's been given. He got life in himself, and he got ability to execute judgment. Who can you read that showed that they had life in themselves to give life to somebody else? Yep, Adam had life in himself because his wife came out. I ain't who I had in mind. I had somebody else in mind. But that ain't wrong, though. Huh? Yeah, he did too. That ain't who I had in mind. But that's not wrong either. Even Joseph had life in himself. You know what I'm saying? Because without him, he was able to save many souls alive. So that's a true story. You look at Abraham, because he had faith, he had life in himself. Because he had the promised seed that was in him. You know what I'm saying? We know Adam had life in himself because the woman was pulled out of him. You know what I'm talking about? We know that Joseph had life in himself because he had the vision to be able to save many souls alive, because that Yah was with him, because he was beloved of his father, as it states in the 37th chapter of Genesis. But you know who actually I had in mind with this instance, because he was talking about the resurrection of the dead who had life in himself. Come on, and I think it's 2 Kings chapter 9, who I had in mind. But all those were correct answers, those gentlemen. Every last one of them. If it ain't chapter 9, it might be chapter 7. Let's see what's going on. Let me make sure. I always forget what that part is. It's actually not chapter 9. Let's escape my mind. But you know that story of Elisha, right? You know when he died, you know what happened, right? They buried his bones and they threw somebody in his grave. And what happened to him? He came back alive, didn't that? If he touched his bones. So that means if Elisha had what? He had what in himself? He had life in himself. How else would he be able to get his man life? I just got to remember what story it is. I always forget this too. It might be. I'm looking at it. There it is, 13 indeed. 13 and 20. 13 and about 20. 2 Kings 13 and 20. You know, I was telling the brothers this morning, you know, that how we had to go at that about them niggas saying that Songs of Solomon were talking about gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, man, you know, it make a lot more sense. He said that was one of them things they ain't really think about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't hear it a lot. It told you, like I told y'all last night, just make me sit back and think about. I remember that dude from ISU PK was preaching in the street, and he had his homeboy next to him, and he told him, show him your gold teeth. And he had him open up his mouth and show his gold teeth, and then he read that verse. You know, that's why he got him in his mouth. He got him in his mouth because he wanted gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't mad at him if he wanted gold teeth, but that's why he got him in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try to put it in the word. That's why all y'all got gold teeth in your mouth. No, what got him gold teeth in his mouth? You know what got gold teeth in black people's mouths? One nigga in the neighborhood. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? See, I was telling them about what we looked up that long time ago, about that word thug and them white folks walking around there with them gold teeth in their mouth.
I seen the one of the Egyptian pharaoh
rocked up in his mouth.
rocked up like that.
You know what I'm saying? You sitting around here thinking that's you, boy, that's pagan, boy. That's pagan. That's pagan. They do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had forgot about the Egyptian pharaoh, but we looked that up because, like they said, because I was telling them, because see, fat boy, somebody said, I told you somebody said I look like a thug.
Yeah.
They don't even know the original thugs were Caucasians.
Yeah.
Them were the original thugs. You know what I'm saying?
Certain plantations, like certain slave plantations, like let's say you was a smith, you know what I'm saying, they'll probably put one at the bottom. If you was a
Yeah, I done heard that too.
They'll put one at the top. So when you ran away to their plantation, they open up your mouth, they see where your gold is at.
That's probably why when you go to Lake Butler, that's probably why they were knocking them goals out your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? You back on your sleep, back on your master's house. Now you don't need them no more. You home. I probably will come tell you, they used to have a jar at Lake Butler Reception Center, man, full of dudes gold teeth who they knocked out their mouth. And they would show it to you. See, we knock out all you niggas gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but see, that's just lack of knowledge in history right as hell, man. Come tell you, them original thugs, you look them up, man. They were Caucasian, had a mouth full of gold, diamonds in them and all. Diamonds in them all. And now we turn around and we get stereotyped with it when actually that ain't even our thing, that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? We be quick to call each other thugs and all this whole type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll have some of our black, then the reverse, cause see with black people you can't never win. Cause then if you put a 3-piece suit on, then niggas call you a coon. You know what I'm talking about? So then if I put a suit on, I can't win. If I dress like this here, I can't win. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell you, just be yourself, man. Like I told you last night, what Bernie Mac said in House Party, man. You just think about it. You know what he said. That's how it roll. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna please everybody. Gentlemen. You ain't gonna please everybody, man. You ain't gonna please everybody. Ain't even no need to try. You know what I'm saying? Ain't even no need to try. Tell you like this here, man. Just like what we read last night, the Masha said, I know where I come from. And he said, and I know where I'm going. When you know where you come from and you know where you're going, you don't need to be worrying about what nobody got to say about you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's read that verse 20. What's happening with your man? He said, and Elisha died and they buried him, and the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in of the year. And it came to pass as they were burying a man, they spied a band of men, and they cast the man into the sepulchre of Elisha. And when the man was let down, he touched the bones of Elisha. He revived and stood upon his feet. It said he revived. Who you know was a little thirsty, and they say they got a little reviving when they were thirsty? Look at you know them.
It was the one instance with
You better know.
Abraham servant when he went to go get Rebecca.
He did that. He definitely did. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about somebody in particular who relates to a Mashiach. You know, Ishmael did, but he didn't turn around and say he was thirsty and he revived. You know who said he was thirsty? And he revived when he got that water. He thought he was finna die of thirst. Not Elijah, but it was Samson. Let's look at Judges 15 because we looking at Michael mean one is like the Most High. So we need to see how Mashiach is like the Most High. We starting this off Daniel 12, Darius and Stanley. You know what I'm saying? Because we looked at he said that I will come in the esteem of my Father, and there's some people who standing here that won't taste death until I enter in to my kingdom. Well, you know, dummies will think that means the people who were alive at the time of Mashiach wasn't gonna die. But we know that's not the case because the curse say dust from whence you come and dust you gonna return. So obviously this is not what he was talking about. The reason why I'm talking about this here because a young man that I know steady talking about a Mashiach ain't coming back. So now we looking at Daniel 12, it say, and Michael or Mikael, the great prince. Now I ain't even got to the great prince part because we just stopped at Michael's name. His name means one who is like Elohim. So then we looked at last night, well, who will you liken me to? You know what I'm talking about? Saith the set apart one. Who you gonna make me equal to? Who is like me? We know that Paul wrote, don't think it robbery to make yourself equal with God. But it's the same mind that Mashiach had. We know if you mean not to make it robbery, meaning you're not taking nothing from him to do this. You know what I'm saying? We know the Son was made in the express image and person of the Father. We know we're supposed to be made in the express image and person of our Father, which would be a Mashiach. You know what I'm saying? Since we read that last night in that Job 24 about them stars, that in that particular passage, them stars mean the progeny and offspring of Mashiach. That's exactly what it says. You know what I'm saying? So that means that he would be our Father. It's a dude I know, he's completely retarded, but he'd always said that he wasn't never wrong. That's the dude I was telling y'all about. He said if you were locked up, should you have sex with an AIDS-infested woman, hit a man in the booty, or rape yourself? You know what I'm saying? So you know you can't have no brain. You know what I'm saying? But then you talking about a scenario that wouldn't even occur because they would never plant a woman in a man's prison who full of AIDS unless she was a CO. You know what I'm talking about? Now, as fourth is talking about what should you do? Like how that come across in your mind? Should I hit the AIDS woman, a man's booty, or play with myself? You already want to play with yourself. Just go in the back and go do it. He gonna do a lot for it. You know what I'm saying? But he believed that y'all, you know Wednesday, y'all know that Shane, the dude Shane would inbox me. Some of y'all seen the post that he made. You know what I'm talking about? About which laws should we keep. Yeah, see, Shane messed up. See, Shane used to listen to IOG. See, IOG told him he could beat his meat, Brother Marlon specifically. Told him he could beat his meat as long as he took a shower. You know what I'm saying? See,
teach that too.
Yeah, because I know it. They taking that Leviticus 15 where it say if your seed of copulation come from you, anything that seed come out of and you got the baby. Well, we know that we done looked at that as it pertained to a Mashiach, that when they hit him in the side and that blood and water came out, that was his seed of copulation. You know what I'm talking about? And also the issue of blood with the woman at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know what I'm saying? So we seen that's why he was unclean, and you unclean for a certain period of time, and that's why he told that woman, don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? We know that, we understand that. These people telling you, man, saying, go ahead, beat your tallywhacker, it's all good, take your shower. Now this man had a problem with lust because he told me he could look at a magazine, photographically memorize the woman on the magazine, and go back home and kill himself to that later. The man say he ain't touched a woman in 6 years. He done touched himself. You know what I'm talking about? He may have not done it in a while though, but he just told me like recently, he's like, man, I done stopped following the word. He said, but I ain't had sex yet. I'm still celibate. It's been 6 years. I said, well, you ain't fell off that fast. But boy, if you done fell off from the word, boy, you'd have died in the sun real fast. That long? 6 years? He holding on. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I say, boy, you can't be that far gone from it, boy, because you still holding to that. You saying you ain't keeping the Shabbat, you ain't doing this, but yet you ain't went and laid with no woman, though. I think you would have gave up that before you gave up the Shabbat. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If I'm a man, I say I've been celibate for the word. I say I ain't dealing with the word no more. And you telling me, he told me, man, he got a man willing to offer him $5,000 to do porn right now. And he ain't do it.
We don't believe in the word.
He don't believe in the word. Because the reason why he don't believe in the word, he say Josh turned in front of the word, man. He say he gonna make it his mission to take Josh and his wife to hell. Yeah.
You got some understanding now?
Absolute Bible truth.
No, this not Josh son of Abraham.
Oh God, come on, man. That's penis picture. That's penis boy.
He talking about,
That penis boy. Absolute Bible truth. He up there in Atlanta. See, he ain't in no physical location. All he gonna do is just get on Blog Talk and shoot videos. But Shane was loyal to this dude, and the dude was disloyal to him. You know what I'm saying? And because of that disloyalty, it made him question some things. You know what I'm saying? Then you got other people that's IOG at the same time. The dude ABT, they IOG offspring. You know what I'm saying? That's where he come from. You know what I'm saying? The dude Josiah that I tell y'all about, that's where he come from. A majority of people, whether you know it or not, that's where they come from.
they say you keep Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. Don't
I would hope not.
what they say? Like,
No, I know with them, they say they say they Christians. They use the name Jesus. They say there ain't no need for you not to use no other name Jesus because we speak English and not Hebrew. Don't learn no Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Because Jesus is the greatest name amongst the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? That's what they believe. They believe you can get drunk. They believe you can work on the Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? They believe you can beat your meat. You know what I'm talking about? They believe all of that. That stuff got his mind thrown because he's like, well, what laws do we keep and what laws do we don't keep? I just told him, just holler at me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be typing all that. You got my phone number. You can just call me. I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
But they said they're Christians though.
Yeah, they say that they're Christians. They know what I'm saying? They say we Christians. We the original Christians.
Haven't seen
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just because they see the word Christian in the word 3 times, they believe they Christian. See, it's right here, but see, it's not supposed to be that though. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, even if you're not a language scholar, common sense tell you, hold up, man. I ain't seen this word nowhere in this book, but right here, something about that ain't right. I remember being in the county jail and telling, I said, man, the word Christian ain't in this book. I'll show it to you right now. He showed it to me. He showed me that 1 Peter. I said, but bro, it's in italics though. I say from my research, italics mean they just put that there. They didn't know what to put there, so they put a word there. I say, why we can't find this nowhere outside of these letters? Why I don't see it in no Gospels nowhere? Why I ain't read it in the first half of the book? See, but we Christians. I'm just saying, I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't believe that though. I wasn't joking about that last night, I tell you that. He could tell you that. I ain't never believed in Christianity, ever. You know what I'm talking about? Never. I ain't believe in none of that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no problem with this, so to speak. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't believing that though. It didn't sit well with me. All I seen was white people. It turned me off. You know what I'm saying? It turned me off. Because the reason why it turned me off, because when we in this society and I look up, what do I see? Not even just I cut on the TV, who do I see? I don't see nobody look like me. You know what I'm saying? They got specific radio stations for our music, for me to hear somebody that sound like me or perspective like me. It's just not, you know what I'm saying, mainstream across the board. You know what I'm talking about? When we got mainstream across the board, they say we done went pop. Basically, we done went popular, because that means whatever we doing is not popular. You know what I'm talking about? I go to the movies, the people in the movies don't look like me. We get excited. You know what I'm saying? It's not movies, it's a black movie. You know what I'm saying? It's not a TV show, it's a black TV show. You know what I'm saying? You know something ain't right when you get excited, boy, Bernie Mac got a show, and you waiting all week long to see his show. We had one day a week back in the day when we were young with black people show, boy, niggas wait all week long to see Living Single and Martin. Wait all week long for it. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no other black shows on the other 6 days. Then you happy on Sunday, then you waiting on Sunday because you got to live in color. You know what I'm saying? What you had, the Cosby Show? What do black people scream? Ain't no positive images of black people on TV. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at the clothes we go buy, ain't none of the clothes made by us. And then when you look at the clothing lines that made by us, they fall off. You don't see Carl Kanai no more. Where Maurice Malone at? Where Fubu at? Fubu dude on Shark Tank. You know what I'm talking about? Running around with a whole bunch of white folks. What happened to your clothing? Why we got to wear this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Then when you look at Rockaway and Sean John, they tax him. What happened to Nelly's vocal? Gone away. He had a clothing line. Where is it? All you know about is apple bottom. Do anybody even still wear that? You know what I'm saying? Our clothing lines don't even last long. It's just a thread for a minute, then they gone. That show you that these niggas ain't really making no money. Cause then none of it, I would only say Sean John probably the only clothing line that's still going. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know any of them rapper clothing lines still going? Do niggas even buy Rockaway? Is it even still sold? He said in the city trends. Yeah, I forgot about Mecca. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That was black owned. Where did he go? No, Jabot, that's a Frenchman. That was a Frenchman. They just wed. You know what I'm saying? They just wore it. But I'm just sitting back saying, like, when you coming up, man, and you see that everything is white. Yeah, they say the dude with mixed, but you know ain't no black. That better people don't own it now. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Ralph Lauren been going since 1976. We ain't had no black designer go that long. You know what I'm saying? They ain't went that long. Where they at? You know what I'm saying? And the fact is that most black people, they would probably shop with these people if it kept on going. And then also, case in point, if them niggas stuff wouldn't be so ugly. Because some of them niggas just feel like they could just give us anything and we supposed to wear it. You know what I'm saying? They just make a clothing line, I'm black, buy it. Come on, bro, I want to buy the clothes. Look at that. Look at that. What am I doing with that, bro? Boy, Rockaway had some of the ugliest shirts you'd ever want to see. You know what I'm saying? The jeans was cool, but some of them shirts were some of the ugliest shirts you'd ever want to see. You know what I'm saying? G-Unit 50 around here trying to have us look like sissies. On the low. You know what I'm saying? Look at this here, man. Even though Mark Echo was a white boy, it was geared to us. You don't see his stuff no more. You know what I'm talking about? You don't see G-Unit clothing no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was decent. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? Them G-Units and them S. Carters, they ain't last too long, did they? They gave you a little run, talking about get you some Reebok shoes, get you some swag, some rapper shoes, them things. That let you know them people ain't making no money. I'm telling you, boy, them white folks put out a brand, boy, that thing don't stop, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no S. Carters for no 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? They gonna keep on going. Boy, look, come on, man. You got Stan Smith and white dudes got Adidas, man. They ain't never stopped making these Adidas, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, I ain't finna keep letting them white folks use me like that. You know what I'm saying? Screw them. That was them. Shoot, boy. That's why I feel like this here, man. That's why I was telling you I was so hot with Ed. Man, don't tell me about that white man, when we could do this ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the biggest problem when we look at. That's why I ain't want to mess with Christianity. We look at Christianity, what is it, man? You white folks, y'all been enslaving me. Y'all been oppressing me. You've been stealing from me. You've been killing from me. And then you're going to turn around and say this here. I want to teach you about Jesus. I'm straight. I'll keep that. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep that. I don't want that. Boy, I'm talking about, boy, I was of the mind frame, boy, I was thinking how some of it, boy, I say, boy, if Jesus white, I'd just rather go to hell. Boy, I don't want to go to no heaven where God white. If this what I had to put up with you while I was down here with you, I don't want to be in heaven with you then. I'm basically gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can take it how you want to take it. That's how I felt about it, though. I don't know how y'all felt about it. If I caught all this with you here on earth, you know what I'm talking about? I want to go to heaven with you. Well, I can only imagine what it's gonna be like there. You know what I'm talking about? If I call this right, boy, you raped my wife, you raped my kids, you castrated me, you hung me from trees, you enslaved me. You know what I'm talking about? You sprayed me with water hoses, sicked me with dogs, beat me across my head, gave me crack, gave me gun, gave me liquor. You know what I'm talking about? Came up with draconian drug laws to incarcerate me for centuries. You know what I'm talking about? Made AIDS to kill me. Came up with subliminal ways to make me a homosexual. You know what I'm talking about? And then you're going to teach me about God and say, if I just believe in Jesus, we can all be together. You keep your Jesus. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with you. This is how I'm looking at this man, 17, 18, 19 years old. Anybody who knows, but I ain't entertained no Christianity. I sat down and listened to Islam for a while. After about 8, 9 months, I wasn't feeling that too tough either. This stuff ain't making no sense. I just talked to him last night about Yaakov, the big head scientist. Man, this stuff don't make no sense. This stuff don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking at Islam, and I see a white man started that. So I'm like, what I want something to do? I'm talking about Nation of Islam and the 5%. I'm seeing a white man started that. You know what I'm saying? Then we find out about Dr. York. We looking at him, but it's like his information was interesting. You know what I'm talking about? But a nigga ain't want to be part of the movement or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't want to move to Eaton, Georgia and live with it. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't around here, boy, Dr. York this here. Like, hey man, that's a nice book. You know, check it out. I might go cop me one. They don't want to get down with you though. You know, that's why I thank y'all for the truth, boy, because there's a lot of nonsense out here. That's why he was like, boy, he said we wasted 7, 8 minutes of our life talking about Yaakov, the big head scientist. I said we talk about him because you need to know about him. Because, boy, if you don't know, I'm telling you, boy, we know this one here, boy. They know they lie. How well you know your truth, though? Because, boy, them niggas know they lie, boy. They gonna sell it to you. Hard. Hard. What I said we were going on after that? I lost my place. Judges 15, I appreciate it. Got to know your truth now, because they know they lie. Make sure that's what we want. Join there, Judges chapter 15, about verse 17. Judges 15 and 17. How many of y'all feel like you know your truth better than these people know they lie? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I ain't asking that just to be asking. I'm about to be serious now, because they out here. Remember what Paul told you, man. Evil men wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Well, you got to know your truth better than they know they lie, because they going to come with it. He said it came to pass when he made an end of speaking that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand and called that place Ramath Lehi. And he was sore athirst and called on Yahuwah and said, thou hast given this great deliverance into the hand of thy servant. Now shall I die for thirst and fall into the hand of the uncircumcised? Ain't that funny? You see a Mashiach saying what? And what hand, whose hand was he in? Uncircumcised. But Elohim clave a hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water thereout, and when he had drunk, his spirit came again, and he revived. Wherefore he called the name thereof En Hakkori, which is in Lehi unto this day. So if he revived, you again seeing that, what did he talking about? When that man went in there and he revived and stood upon his feet, when he touched the bones of the prophet Elisha, the man of the Most High. And what did we read about last night? What did Eliphaz the Temanite say to Job? Have you ever gave water to them that were weary? Come over here to Romans chapter 6. That's what a Mashiach came to do, to give water to them that were weary, because he had life in himself. Even when you turn around and you look at Solomon holding his jawbone, he had life within himself. Therefore, he was able to give life. You got to realize the Mashiach said, I got a command to lay my life down. I got power to take it again. Nobody don't take this from me. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to remember, man, you're not taking nothing from y'all by making yourself. You know, I told somebody, they say, man, you stealing. It's like a couple years ago. I'm like, bro, if the man said he came to me, if he said he that is perfect shall be as his master, that means you're going to be just like him. Don't never let anyone deter you or discourage you and make you believe that you can't be like he whom you serve. Our objective is to become just like Yah. That's the goal. At the end of the day, that's the goal, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? We want to be translated from men to God. He said straight in there, ye are gods and are sons of the Most High. So our whole objective is to go from men, from being temporal, from being mortal to being immortal and being eternal. That is the objective. The only way we're going to obtain that objective is if what we talked about last night, you got to be willing to die for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be humble to be able to make that transition and to change into that. That's what the Mashiach was showing you. He went from being God to becoming a man, humbling himself and becoming a man, humbling himself unto death and under instruction to become God again. You know what I'm saying? He's showing us that we got to do as men. We got to go from being men and follow that same pattern of being humble and being afflicted to learn obedience so you can become like God. See, people don't want to achieve that. When you look at most Israelites, all they want to do is just argue. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking down on each other. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see it with the One West dudes. If you ain't part of my camp, you ain't part of nothing. You know, they go hard with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know dudes, like you say, your man down there in Louisiana, you know he retarded. He say stuff like that. If you don't share my stuff, you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? All this do is when people see that, man, all that make them do is be like, what's the point? Then we forget the whole point of why we doing what we supposed to be doing. It's to be changed. You know what I'm saying? It's to be changed. Romans chapter 6 though, man. Make it 5. It's just to be changed, man. You got to really, in order to be changed, you got to change your mentality. You know, dudes spending all their time worrying about polite, and Saren Suit said it. Nigga invited me to talk about some Pan-African conference. Nigga, I don't care nothing about Saren Suit said it, nigga. Care nothing about polite. He talking about polite sitting down with a white man. So what? Nigga hang with a faggot. Nigga hang with a nigga with a ponytail weave, man. You already know something wrong with a nigga hang with nigga with ponytail weave. Nigga wearing blouses. Nigga had a blouse on just like yours, T. No exaggeration. Dancing and singing. Probably rubbed himself with olive oil when he was finished. He said, for if we've been planted together, Romans 6 and 5, for if we've been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. That's the same thing you seeing with Elisha, that man. He's dead. You know what I'm talking about? You die with him, and then you live through him. For he that is dead is freed from sin. Now we be dead with the Mashiach, we believe that we shall also live with him. So we turn around and look at one who is like Elohim. You know, we talked about this a while back. Is there any iniquity with y'all? Absolutely not. So we see how Mashiach is like Elohim when it comes to this instant. Now the other thing we look at is judgment. It's judgment. So let's turn around and let's look at Genesis 2 and 15. Get you John chapter 8 and about verse 16 along with it. Now that's something we done looked at in the past. You know that Yah has the ability to forgive sin, right? We know Mashiach came through and did that on a few occasions too, right? That he put away a person's sin. We know this from Exodus 34. You know what I'm saying? Yahuwah Elohim, full of goodness and truth, mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, but by no means clearing the guilty. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at that, we talking about judgment too on that, because we done looked at it in the past. Y'all remember that. We done seen, boy, Yahushua got the ability to forgive sins. Who else can do that? There's no man on the earth you can liken him to. That's why I'm sitting there telling you, these niggas got to be stupid if they waiting on David. David can't forgive your sins, you stupid fool. You know what I'm saying? David can't be no high priest, dummy. He can't be high priest and king at the same time. He disqualified. 2 and 15, man. Yahuwah took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou may freely eat. But the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eat thereof thou shalt surely die. Did he not pronounce a judgment? It's going to be the judgment if you do this. If you don't believe what I say, you're going to die. John 8:16. Make it 15. John 8 and 15. And then we'll work our way down. Ye judge after the flesh. I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true. For I'm not alone, but I and the Father that sent me. So you got to remember that when the Mashiach was walking in the flesh, did he judge anybody? Did he sit in judgment of anyone? Drop down about verse 21. Then said Yahushua again unto them, I go my way, and you shall seek me, and you shall die in your sins. Whither I go, you cannot come. Then said the Yahudim, will he kill himself because he saith, whither I go, you cannot come? What does that sound like from the story we just read with Adam, that where I'm going, you can't go? What did the Most High do to Adam in that garden? And what he did after that? He put them flaming swords right there, so where I am, you can't go. Because in that, what was in that garden? It was the tree of life, wasn't it? Hamashiach, the tree of life. So where I am, you cannot go. You know what I'm saying? Listen what he said now. He said unto them, ye are from beneath, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. I said therefore unto you that ye shall die in your sins, for if you believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. Then said they unto him, who art thou? And Yahushua said unto them, even the same that I said unto you from the beginning. So if he said, I'm the same, he said, who are you? Who art thou? He said the same that I said to you from the beginning. So where you think this would take us to then? He said, I'm the same person that I told you from the jump street.
It wouldn't be the Exodus 3:14.
Now, I mean, not whenever, but he said, I'm the same who I said to you from the beginning. So this from the start. So when you sit back and look at it, first place we're going to look, we're going to work our way back, go to Genesis 17 and 1. After that, get Revelation chapter 1 and about verse 4. I say, you know, y'all willing, we're going to start dealing with that there. I got a piece of it right here, right? So I'm going to read it. We're dealing with the alphabet. Y'all will next week, we probably depending, I don't know if we're going to have the board where we're going to be at. I'm not sure which one it is. We'll try to do 2 to 3 letters. You know what I'm saying? And then from them 2 to 3 letters, we'll see what we get up out of that. We probably just try to keep it at 2. You know what I'm saying? And we'll try to deal, but we'll do 3 if we feeling froggy. You know what I'm saying? But right here, we sit back and look at, go ahead and tell them what that first letter of the alphabet is, Stanley. And what it means, Stanley.
It means ox head, strong leader.
Absolutely. So the first letter of the alphabet is Aleph, and it means ox, bull, strong, leader, first.
Olive?
Aleph. A-L-E-P-H. Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's what I got on him. Yeah. So when we sit back and look at that, I'm mentioning that for a reason, right? Because now we're looking at this Genesis 17 and 1. And look at what he says. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahuwah appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Elohim, walk before me and be thou perfect. Or he would tell him that he was Al Shaddai, or the Almighty, right? Which would let him know that he was what? The first. He'll let him know that he was the first. This is what he told him in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But before he even appeared to Moses to tell him that in Exodus 3 and 14, he had already appeared to others and told them that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that's where you're going to sit back and think. That's when he told him, you know, I am that I am. That which I am is that what I will be in the end. Which is again turning around talking about the Mashiach. Because I was God in the beginning, I'm going to turn back around and be it again. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning was Elohim, and the word was with Elohim, and the word was Elohim, and the word was made flesh. I seen dudes arguing about that the other day. It's something that I want to try to hit too in Acts 17, where they trying to say Paul was quoting the Greeks and not the word when he was talking to them people on Mars Hill. And people share this stuff to me. I said, that was deep right there, how we missed that. Nigga, how you know this man got that from that stuff? You niggas that unskilled in the book to sit back and think this man would be quoting Greek philosophers? Boy, you ain't finna find a Yahudim ever walked the earth quote no Greek philosopher. What I'm gonna quote sissies for? Y'all do know every Greek philosopher like boys. You know what I'm talking about? They love to sit back, look at him. He's over there in the cut, sweating and dripping. I'm going to assert my dominance over him. This is what they really believe, that if you had sex with a man, to show you were dominant than the other man, you had to penetrate his anus. You know what I'm saying? You can't even make this stuff up, man. You can't even make this stuff up. Like I say, the word gymnasium, that's what they did in the gym. They would go in there, they would sit in there, they would study philosophy, play sports butt naked, and have sex, and then go home and beat up their wife. You know what I'm saying? I guess they so mad at her because she doesn't have a penis. You know what I'm saying? So why would Paul quote them? That make any sense to y'all? Come over here back to Genesis chapter 4 actually. Now we know obviously Yah appeared under Adam, right? Let him know who he was. But remember when we looked at this here right here, Genesis 4:25, but remember when we looked at this right here? And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For Elohim, she said, have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, who Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of Yahuwah. So I'm the same one that you heard about from the jump street. The appointed seed gave birth to man, and man began to call on Yahuwah. I'm the same one you knew from the beginning. I'm the first and the last. Revelation chapter 1. So then we also looking at, as it said, meaning strength, leader of the first. You can't be like, the only way you can be like Elohim is you're going to have to be first. This is why Mashiach had the right to make this statement that he finna make in Revelation chapter 1. Revelation 1 and 4. Actually, drop it, make it 7. We ain't reading all that. Behold, he come with clouds. Every eye shall see him. They also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, I mean. Now, this is where all this flat earth stuff really be coming from, because of this statement right here, that everybody is going to see him. And they were like, well, if the world is a circle, how is everybody going to see him? You know what I'm saying? When they don't sit back and realize is, what does the word say? That Yah envelops everything, don't it? See, hold this here and go to Acts 17 real fast. We're going to come back to Revelation 1. We good in Genesis. Since I said something to you about what they said about Paul, I guess we need to go ahead and look at it. 17, and we'll start in about verse 16, and we're going to work our way down. I'm not going to try to read all 18 of these verses in the interim, but we're going to move around with it. It says, 17 and 17 of Acts. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue. Well, make it 16, my apologies. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. So if his spirit is stirred in him because of idolatry, that means he's upset about it. It's troubling him. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Yahudim and with the devout persons in the market daily with them that met with him. Y'all know what a devout person is? Any of y'all in here know what a devout person is? Y'all know what that is?
Like you what?
Who that?
Devout Gentile.
Cornelius. What you say that? Dedicated. Somebody who is devout is dedicated. You know what I'm saying? You look at Abraham, he was devout. You know what I'm saying? You look at Isaac and Jacob and Mashiach and Elijah and Elisha, they were devout and they served to Yah, they were dedicated to it. There was no deviation. David, devout. You know what I'm saying? We all supposed to be seeking to become devout men and women of Yah. You know what I'm saying? So if you see he was in the synagogue with this, that means he came to his own people with this. You know what I'm saying? This don't mean, so he ain't talking to he ain't sitting around walking around Athens going off on these white folks who out here doing it. It said the first place he went was where? To the synagogue, didn't it? Then he say with the devout persons. That mean devout person. That mean these people dedicated to the word. So he went to find people who serve Yah to get them, man, don't y'all get caught up in this junk that's going on around here. You know what I'm saying? He says, then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. Some said, what will this babbler say? Other some he seemed to be a setter forth for strange gods, because he preached unto them Yahusha and the resurrection. So they thought Paul to be crazy. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, May we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speak is. For thou bring certain strange things to our ears. We would know therefore what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Then stood Paul in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown Elohim, whom therefore you ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you. Now hold this right here and get your Romans chapter 1. Paul, and we're going to come right back. Paul said, you ignorantly worship this man. Do you remember what we read last night? We're going to go back and look in Isaiah chapter 40. So get you that right there about verse 27. And on top of that, get Hosea 14 and about verse 9. Make it 8. So we're going to get Romans 1 and about verse 22. Going to get Isaiah 40 and about verse 27. Maybe we'll see if we need to move up. And then Hosea 14 and 8. Romans 1 and about 22. Romans 1 and 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. That's what they happened to them people in Athens, ain't it? And changed the esteem of the uncorruptible Elohim into an image like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. You know, son, I forgot what it was I seen. A dude said abusing yourselves with mankind, right? Y'all know what that means. They say abusers of themselves with mankind. You know what that means? What that mean?
Man on man.
You mean you're a homosexual? Do you know a nigga said that's why you can't watch football, because they abusers of themselves with mankind? Niggas say they hit each other, so they homosexuals. They abusing each other. Well, you only abuse a man when you around there around something you ain't got no business. When you around here living like Jamie Foxx. Because he was talking about, y'all around here not giving glory to the Most High. Y'all watching football. Y'all don't give the Most High 3 hours a day. I say, come on, bro. I say, man, you niggas act like niggas in the word 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's all you can do with your life. You know what I'm saying? They say you a sinner if you watch a football game. I started telling the nigga I'm watching the game right now. I'm gonna watch one tomorrow night, nigga. You wait on it. You know what I'm saying? They say, how could you be thinking about y'all when you so if we take that into account, I better not get married, cause I know you ain't thinking about y'all when you're swimming in your wife. I bet you ain't. You know what I'm talking about? Tell that bold-faced lies. You think about y'all when you're in the bathtub? You think about y'all when you're taking a dump? This man like this here, like we know our mind is to be stayed on the man, right? But these dudes act like now once you deal with the word, like you can't do nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was a jazz concert going on and you say, hey man, I'm finna hit the jazz concert. You think I'm gonna tell you can't go to that concert. You ain't thinking about y'all. Now if you tell me you want to go to a Young Jeezy concert, something wrong with you. You know what I'm talking about? Something wrong with you. What you want to go to that for? You know what I'm talking about? I want to go see R. Kelly. For what? You know what I'm saying? You know Mary J. Blige was just down here. But it was on the Shabbat though. But you don't want to sing about you don't want to go see no 40-year-old woman talking about men ain't nothing. She been married for almost 20 years. Got you around here miserable. I bet she ain't miserable. She got a nice man waiting in the bed waiting on her. You around here talking about you ain't gonna cry. Don't you fall for that there, man. You know what I'm talking about? For real though. I don't know too many of new records. That's why I can't mention that. But I'm being serious though. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, ain't nothing wrong. You want if they got something going on at the landing or something going, you want to go like if like I said, we usually we go through the word on Wednesday anyway. But if we didn't and you wanted to go down there to the art walk, man, ain't nothing wrong with you wanting to slide down there to that, man. Well, I'm gonna sit back. Oh, what you going to the art walk for? Maybe because I want to see some art, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I like art. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe I want to sit back and spend some money with these local vendors who out here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with what you want to go see a movie as long as it ain't nothing objectionable. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I guess they gonna tell it we sending if you want to go to the fair, so I can't get on the fair ride.
I can't get me a funnel cake.
I can't get me a funnel cake. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the heathen, that's heathen customs. Come on, bruh. So you just think all we did was just sit around and read the word 24/7. That's what you thought, that's all we did. And work. Boy, them people was around there playing and dancing and singing when Moses went up on the mount. Boy, you know we ready to get off. Don't even need no excuse. I'm just sitting here telling you, man, though, it keeps stuff in perspective, man. You know there's certain things that you shouldn't have no business fooling with. But that don't mean you can't enjoy your life, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things we know that we don't do. You know what I'm talking about? Man, you want to go to your Jaguar game, man, that's your business. That's your money. You work for it. You earned it. You know what I'm talking about? You say, you know what? I want to spend my Sunday afternoon in Everbank Field watching the game. What sin you done committed? Only if you went and got you something out the bud zone. And you know what I'm talking about? Now you done did something you ain't got no business. Let me get a towel. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want y'all to keep, when I seen that, I say, so this nigga gonna really take abusers of themselves with mankind. Boy, that's talking about punks, boy. 1 and 24 though. 25 actually. Romans 1 and 25. And then after that, we're gonna shoot and get this Isaiah 40 and 25. He say, wherefore Elohim who changed the truth of Elohim into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. Amen. So you can see what they doing. They ignorantly worshiping him. They don't know. They had no idea what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's how most of us was in our lifetime. We had no idea what we were doing because my people suffer for a lack of knowledge. So you serve the unknown creator out of ignorance. That's why we did the things that we did. That's why you would wear a cross or have a Caesar Borgia piece or get a cross tattooed on your body. You know what I'm talking about? Because you were doing it out of ignorance because you were actually serving a creation more than he who actually made it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, but when the love of Elohim shine in our hearts, that ignorance go away. That's why he say if they be blinded, the God of this world has blinded them. You know what I'm talking about? If they supposed to be, all it means is that they ignorant. They don't know what they doing. They don't know where they going. And if y'all want them to be ignorant, like Paul say, if any be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Leave him alone. Come over here and let this Isaiah 40 go. And I just be seeing stuff dudes be saying, and I be tripping like, and they serious too. Make it verse 28. Isaiah 40 and 28. We just all we want is Isaiah 40 and 28. Then we'll look at Hosea 14 and 8. Get your Isaiah 40 and 28. Isaiah 40 and 28. You all right over there? What you laughing at? You all right? Mr. Giggles? Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard? You heard what he said? You ain't known? You ain't heard? That the everlasting Elohim, Yahuwah, the creator of the ends of the earth, faint not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. Hosea 14 and 8. What's wrong with you, boy? Boy, you done smoked you a marijuana, boy? I want y'all to think about this, verse 8 now. Who knows what the name Ephraim means? Who remember what it means?
Nations.
Don't mean nations. It say that Yah is giving me fruit in my affliction. Remember, that's one of Joseph's sons. You know what I'm saying? Say, Ephraim shall say, what have I to do any more with idols? For what agreement does the temple of Elohim have with idols? For ye are the temple of Elohim, for he saith, I shall walk in them, and I shall be their power, and they shall be my people. You know what I'm saying? So those who have brought forth fruit in their affliction, that's 2 Corinthians chapter 6 I'm talking about. Those who brought forth fruit in their affliction, what more would they have to do with idols after that? You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to sit back and look at. Not only just idolatry as worshiping false gods, but the idolatry of covetousness and the idolatry of stubbornness. What need will we have for that anymore? If we bringing forth fruit in our affliction, since we talked about last night, that when you chastise, it's for you to bring forth the peaceable fruit of righteousness, that those who are exercised by it might be partakers of the sanctification of Yahuwah. What need would you need to fool with idols anymore? What need would you be to be coveting somebody else's woman? You know what I'm saying? Coveting somebody's belongings. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, even coveting who they are. You know, that's one of the worst things you'll ever sit back and see in your life. Whoa. That's one of the worst things you'll ever see is somebody who want to be like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? We done seen some few people, boy, I remember this here, like, I ain't gonna say he was trying to be like me. Y'all remember that little white boy, every time I go cop a jersey, he'll go buy the same one I just bought. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, can I gotta hit what Big Dog say, can I live, bro? Can I live, man? You know what I'm saying? But he ain't covered it because he just seen something. It ain't like he wanted mine. You know what I'm talking about? He went and got his own, but coveting went like, boy, I'm finna take his. You know what I'm saying? See, when you get to a point of coveting, boy, it's like what David did. See, David coveted Uriah's wife. So he went and took that. You know what I'm saying? And because he did that, what did he end up doing? Killing that man. See, you don't realize when you covet after something that don't belong to you, you're going to end up doing something unseemly to get it. You know what I'm saying? See, it's one thing you be like, boy, Stanley, I like them shoes, boy. Then you go cop you one just like them. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't finna hit Stanley upside the head with a baseball bat and take his shoe. You know what I'm saying? The most of the time you see people coveting, the most, in the street, they coveting somebody wealthy. You know what I'm talking about? And they go to rob you. But the most coveting that you see most of the time with people is they coveted somebody's mate. You know what I'm saying? And usually they do something very unseemly to try to get that person's mate. And then now, and like I done told y'all before, I don't even see how you realize if you had to do some underhand stuff to get somebody mate, what make you think they not gonna turn around and do that to you? You know what I'm saying? Nigga pulled the old backdoor move to get you from your old lady, or get you from your man. What makes you think that that person's not gonna turn around and do that to you? 14 and 8, Jose. I'm serious though. No, coveting is a very dangerous thing to have in your heart. That's why the law say thou shalt not covet, because coveting is a desire for something, and your desire for something could go way too far. You know what? Coveting is why the coveting is why we celebrate Thanksgiving in this land. I ain't gonna say we, but you know what I mean when I say we, not us, but in this land. You know what I'm saying? Because they coveted them people's land and they were willing to kill them for it. You know what I'm saying? And they had no qualms at doing it whatsoever. These people had no problem saying manifest destiny. God said this is our land. Let's kill everybody on it and take it. You know what I'm saying? That's what covetousness does. You know what I'm saying? Coveting to be like, boy, I heard bro got 5 bricks at the house, boy. Let's go get that. You know what I'm saying? Kick in the door, kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? Coveting to come in where you was with a woman, she don't want you no more. She done moved on. You stalking her for months, and then you just kill her and everybody who with her. You know, that happened here a few years back. Dude walked in the beauty salon, killed that girl dead where she sat. Who even knows what happened out there by the airport yesterday that people got killed up in that whole house? You know what I'm saying? I might find out later after Shabbat over with. They say bro came in there, shot everybody in the house. Kids and all. Oh yeah, right out there by River City Marketplace. 5 dead. 1 fighting for their life, or 4 dead, 1 or 2. Yeah, 4 dead, 1 fighting for their life. Really, we only gonna say 3. We ain't gonna count the shooter. Because they counted the shooter in one of that. So you went in there and shot 4 people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the 4th one's still living. You know what I'm saying? That's wild though. Because that's all they were talking about on the news here last night, man, when we cut the TV off, was them people dying and what happened in Paris. Then what happened in Paris, turn around, same thing happened in Kenya. You know what I'm saying? People crazy out here. Remember what Amasha told you, because the love of many shall wax cold, iniquity shall abound and bound. Boy, the love of Yah is dead out here, man. These people sit back looking at, man, people ain't got no problem walking in here and killing you. Like I told y'all last night, man, I wasn't trying to be funny, but I was serious it sounded fun, I was serious at the same time. Black people get mad, they kill who they mad with. You know what I'm saying? White people get mad and kill everybody in the vicinity. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear too many times about black folks doing no murder, suicide, kill everybody in the house. You know what I'm saying? If they do kill anybody, they gonna kill whoever that war they came there to kill, unless they worry about witnesses. That somebody know that with me, then I'm gonna kill all y'all. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about us going to no banks and no schoolhouses and just shooting everything up. About the only couple times I know in my life that happened with the post office people. Them black folks were just mad, I'm killing everybody. You know what I'm talking about? We just don't naturally do that. We usually just take out who we upset with. Then I'm feel good now. You know what I'm saying? I was mad with Stanley. I killed Stanley. I can go home now. You know what I'm saying? White boy be mad. I'm going to shoot Troy. What did Troy do? He ain't do nothing, but I'm going to shoot him because he's standing there. He was close.
He had boots on.
Joe Jose. Oh, boy. It said, Ephraim shall say, what have I to do anymore with idols? Listen what he said. I've heard him and observed him. I've heard him and observed him. Did he say that? Didn't we just read in Isaiah? He said, you ain't known. You ain't heard. Ain't no searching for my understanding. He said, I'm like a green fir tree, for from me is thy fruit found. Who is wise, and he shall understand these things, prudent, and he shall know them. For the ways of Yahuwah are right, and the just shall walk in them, but the transgressors shall fall therein. Now, what y'all think that could mean from these two verses we just looked at? And all this stuff stemming from who is like Elohim. Ain't this what all this stuff stemming from? This all is stemming from, because they say Mashiach ain't coming back, so we got to show him to be what? A liar. Remember, we already looked at, remember when I told y'all the brother asked me to show in the law? Somebody coming, leaving, and coming back. Y'all remember that? Who showed us that? It was two places where we could see that at. And where did we see it at?
Moses going in the covenant.
Moses one. And what was the second one? We know we seen Moses what? He came to the people, right? He taught the people, right? He went back up on the mount, right? They sat back and say, oh, he taking too long. He came back and did what? Executed judgment, executed vengeance. Because you also seeing that Moses was given you look at Moses, right? He was, for all intents and purposes, he was made like Elohim to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Because he was given the word by Yah. Yah put the word in his mouth. He told Moses that you'll be as God and Aaron to be as your prophet. You know what I'm talking about? Then you see him going up on high, and when he came back down, when he caught the people playing and dancing, what did he do? He executed judgment. What is a Mashiach going to do when he done come back? Execute judgment. Judgment been given into my hand, because the only person who can execute judgment is the Most High. He the only one that can actually deem and say, you're a transgressor, you perish, you righteous, you say. He the only person who could do that. Man can't do that. We could try to make that determination, but even when you make that determination, you got to make it determined by what? This. So in the end of the day, the word still, so Yah still is executing the judgment. Because when we go stand before Mashiach, he gonna judge you according to your works, according to the things that are written in this book. So, what do y'all think that verses 8 and 9 could mean? I heard him and observed him. This guy in the son we read last night in Proverbs chapter 8. You heard him, you observed him. What you think that mean to observe? You think that's talking about watching it? Y'all think that observe mean to watch it? You observe something, that means you do it. You know, observe has two different meanings. When you have one observation, that means you watch. And then you be like, I observe the Shabbat. Means I keep it. You know what I'm saying? When we look at it, Proverbs chapter 8, what we looked at last night, what did he say? He said, receives my instruction better than choice gold and silver, didn't it? So he said, I heard him and I observed him. 2 Timothy 3 and 13. You can hold Hosea 14 along with Daniel chapter 12 to put you a place there. We get back to it. Oh, it's 3:56. I forgot when they did that update. It pushed the time back on the computer. Put it back to whatever you call it. Daylight Standard Time. Second Timothy 3 and 13. He say, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, And that from a child thou hast known the Kadesh scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Yahushua HaMashiach. All scripture is given by inspiration of Elohim, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim may be perfect, or be complete, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. So he said you need to know these things and continue in it. He just asked you, he said, I heard of him and I observed him. Now, what do we sit back and think about when you say, I heard of him and I observed him? You think you could observe somebody you ain't never heard of? You think you could do that?
You can go back to,
No. No, you can go ahead. She ain't even answer. I'm just looking for a head nod. Go ahead, Stanley.
you go back to that, Romans 10, 14.
Mm-hmm.
How should they not hear?
Because faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word of the Most High. So, hold on. Ephesians chapter 4.
And before you go there, who was the second person? It was Moses, and then who was the second one?
Oh, Lucifer. Remember when we read in Isaiah 14, you realize you read him talking about Lucifer coming, Lucifer leaving, and then coming back. You know what I'm saying? Four and about 18. You all heard what that is?
What scripture was it? I'm sorry.
Ephesians 4 and 18. What you see? Need a V8? Need a V8? I don't know. You like V8? I don't blame you. I don't like it either. You like V8? Tomato juice is disgusting. I know you like V8 splash though. He said, having the understanding dark and being alienated from the life of Elohim through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. That's going right back to what we looking at in Acts 17 too. The people were blind because they were ignorant of the Most High. So they couldn't have access to that life. Who being in past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness to work all uncleanliness with greediness. But you have not so learned Mashiach. If so be that you have heard of him and have been taught by him as the truth is in Yahushua. That you put off concerning the former behavior, the old man which is corrupt according to deceitful lust, and be renewed in the ruach of your mind, that you put on the new man, which after Elohim is created in righteousness and true kodesh. So he said that I had known him and I observed him, and he's like a green fir tree. Y'all know what a green fir tree is? Mm-hmm. Then he said, thy fruit is found well in me. In me. You know what I'm saying? So you know what John 15 say, abide in me and I in you, he that abide in me shall bring forth much fruit. Because the fruit of eternal life, get you Romans 6 and about 19. The fruit that you seeking after to get, you're going to have to get it from him. See, that's the whole key thing is these dudes don't want to go get their fruit from the man. I think they want that GMO fruit core. That's what they want. They want something genetically modified. You know what I'm saying? Have legions all on their back. He said, I speak after the manner, Romans 6 and 19. I speak after the manner of men because of the infirmity of your flesh, as you have yielded your members servants to uncleanliness and to iniquity unto iniquity. Even so now yield your member servants to righteousness unto Kadesh. For when you were the servants of sin, ye were free from righteousness. What fruit had ye in those things whereof you are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death. We turn around and we see that with Adam, don't we? You see that with Adam, right? He was free from righteousness, which was the righteousness of eternal life, the righteousness that come by faith. He was free from that. What fruit did he have in the thing that he did, which in the end was death? He say hold on. He say, but now being made free from sin and become servants to Elohim, you have your fruit unto Kadesh and the end everlasting life. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Elohim is eternal life through Yahushua HaMashiach, our master, which we talked about last night. Love and favor is better than silver and gold. So the fruit that you seeking to get, you're going to have to get that from him. Now, when we look at a fir tree, it says it's a noble tree and stateliness, and you know what the last part is? A material for the temple. So he's like a green fir tree. He's stately, he's firm, but he's also the part of the house. You know what I'm saying? And we know that what? A Mashiach is our house that was pitched for us to dwell in. So we seeking a place to dwell. And the place that he told us to dwell is where we'll find the fruit of everlasting life, of which we say we after. But the only way we can get that first John and 5 and about 18, I suppose. So if we seek to get after that fruit, then something has to happen. We're going to have to be like them stars. Remember what we looked at last night? He says in the height, he said, how is Elohim in the height of Shamahim? And he's saying, look at the stars, how high they are. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at it, we're supposed to elevate ourselves above the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to do. When we're able to do that, then we're able to make a distinction between us and them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how y'all dress, how you wear your hair, you know what I'm talking about? And all that there, that's not what's going to make a distinction between you and somebody else. It's going to be the life that you lead. It's going to be how you carry and conduct yourself. It's going to be the way how you speak, how you handle with people. It's going to be by how you live. And through that, they're going to be able to ascertain they are not like us.
It do kind of matter how women was dressed in this
Yeah, I get you that.
for separation.
Yeah, separation purpose. You know, she can't dress like she can't dress like Betty Boop. Can't dress like no whore. You know what I'm saying?
Men too, but well,
Yeah, I mean, cause you know, it's certain stuff. You know, I mean, you know, we give y'all the benefit of the doubt. You ain't that crazy, but then again, there's people on here crazy, so we better go on ahead and clarify for them. You know what I'm saying? Cause just like what we were talking earlier, somebody could see how he dressed right now, and I'm talking about just black people. They'll try to say he a coon or something. You know what I'm saying? Because he want to put on a shirt and a tie. That don't make him a coon because he want to put on a shirt and a tie. Maybe he like wearing a shirt and a tie. Huh?
looking at me for.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody, but then somebody could turn around and look at Stanley and be like, oh, he got on that shirt and them pants. Let's say that man just got on a shirt and pants on. I mean, that's just period, because quite naturally, you already know that. You know, remember what the Most High told Samuel about David? When he would go on to anoint who was to play Saul's place, you know what y'all told Samuel?
I count this by man's eyes.
Yeah, he say don't look on the outward appearance. He say for y'all look, he say man look on the outward appearance, y'all look on the heart. Somebody can sit back and look. You could have somebody say like this here, Corey could be dressed to the nine, you know what I'm saying, suits, you know what I'm talking about, 3-piece suit, derby hat on and all that. And somebody look at him and say, boy, that's a righteous, upright man right there. And he could be just as wicked as the day is long.
That's why when he picked Saul to be king, they looked at his appearance.
They looked at his appearance. They looked at his outward appearance. It's like this here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could look at how any other dress and they gonna make an assumption on what type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? But that's actually more of a reflection on you. There's only one thing. It's only two manner of dressing. I'm gonna look at somebody and make an assumption about who they is. Nigga got on a certain type of outfit, man. As a man, that y'all know what I'm talking about. Boy, that nigga that gay, boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, long thug tight clothes and stuff. These young boy went, boy, that nigga gay. 9 times out of 10, I see a woman with some shorts on, her booty hanging all out, or you know what I'm saying, certain stuff. She's probably a whore. You know what I'm saying? Because of that attire. Because I know a woman of respect ain't gonna dress like that, and I know full well a man who ain't no faggot ain't gonna put that on. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't gonna put that on. Like, boy, you got that on, boy? What he say? What he told him about them skinny? He said them women pants. Them women pants. You know what I'm saying? I ain't look at the interview. They had him on the Breakfast Club the other day. He said that nigga was going hard. Trick Daddy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And called baby a girlfriend.
Woo! I ain't look at much of it, but I saw they said he went hard though. I couldn't take much of it. I could only took like 2 minutes. I had to stop. Yo, yeah, he know he smoked. Look at him.
I thought it was because of that disease he got.
No, shoot, how he looking right now? He look like he already in a mortuary. Yeah, he looked like he in a casket dead already. First time y'all seen it. I ain't even trying to be funny. He looked like you go to a funeral and you see them body laying in there. Just how he looked. He had that skull on his head too. I said, that nigga alive?
Kurt Frank was on there. They said, oh, we got flies daddy on there.
Yeah. You know, you heard about Kurt Franklin's new album. You used to listen to Kurt Franklin. Kurt Franklin got a new album called Losing My Religion. He coming out talking about he apologizing to all the people who he done turned off for the homophobia that's in the black church.
Yeah,
You say ain't no homophobia. I said I know why you want to come out there talking about speaking against the homophobia. Now we know what type of porn you was in there watching.
Oh, man.
He killed him. He killed him. He killed himself.
Literally killed.
He killed himself. Y'all remember that though? He was on Oprah talking about he was addicted to porn. I was wondering what type of porn he was looking at. That nigga did that smile video with that pink lipstick on. That pretty much stamped it for me. Now you got a new album coming out talking about you want to help make atonement for all the homosexuals that the black church done scared off. We all people, we need to love each other. You talking about all the choir directors that been ran away. Oh yeah, you the porn.
TV Snacks coming up saying the same thing. You got this shit okay, so TV
I call that nigga the walrus.
Kurt, the other freshman, hey yo pops. I'm like, what?
He called him his pops.
He says, hey yo pops, you wanna come together and pray? Yeah, them two things did a song together. He said,
Whoa. I don't know too much about these dudes, you know what I'm saying? I just know TD Jakes look like a beach whale. That's all I know. 1 John 5:18. That's all I know. He say, we know that whosoever is born of Elohim sin not, but he that is begotten of Elohim keep himself, and that wicked one touch him not. And we know that we are of Elohim, and the whole world lie in wickedness, which is what you seen what Paul was doing in the 17th chapter of Acts. And we know that the son of Elohim is come and have given us an understanding that we may know him that is true. And we are in him that is true. Even in his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. This is the true Elohim in eternal life. So in order to get this understanding, you're going to have to seek him. Now do we see how he said there's no searching for my understanding? What did his apostles do when he rose when he died? They went back to his grave searching for him. And when they went back searching for him, what did he turn around and do? He opened their understanding that they might understand the scriptures, because he said, my words are plain to them that have understanding. So he sat down and opened that up to them so they could understand. Matter of fact, even with that there, he said, your fruit is found in me. Do y'all remember when we looked at that in Numbers chapter 14 or Numbers 11, when he said, go find the fruit of the land, and they went and searched it the same way they were going back there to look for the fruit of the land? Because when you look at it, that was first fruits, and you got to go get the fruit for the harvest. They went and did the same thing. Didn't know it though. You know what I'm saying? We got to sit back and look at what type of fruit you after. How many of y'all remember when we looked at that Jeremiah when he was talking about there's good figs in this basket and there's bad figs in this basket? You know what I'm saying? It's good fruit, it's bad fruit. You know what I'm saying? What type of fruit are you going to be? You going to be that sport? How many of y'all done bought some rotten fruit? You bought it, you got it to the house, you seen it with rotten. How did you look when you seen it? You know what I'm saying? How you think he going to look at us if we bad fruit? But how y'all look, you went and copped you some fruit, he was good, you sitting there looking at him, boy, I know how you be looking. You been took a bite of them, it's a lot of juice in it. She cheese just like that too. Just like that there. You be happy with it, don't you? We got to sit back and look at that. That fruit that a Mashiach was, that's the same way the fruit that's found in Yahushua. That's the same way you had that feeling about when you go buy some good fruit. That's how you should feel about the fruit that emanate from him. Because he said Yasharal is an empty vine who bring fruit unto itself. The fruit that he bring to itself is everlasting life. You know what I'm saying? That's what we supposed to be after. Why would you want to be a partaker of anything else? Ain't nothing out here in the world that I would want. You know what I'm talking about? When I say what I would want that would cause me to go against y'all. Because there's things out here we wanting. I know most of y'all want a new vehicle, probably a new place to live, might want some new shoes, some new clothes, new watch, new colognes, perfumes, and ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm talking about? Well, to get you some new money, you got to make you some more. I think everybody in here wants some new money. Who in here don't want some new money? Shoot. I say everybody in here ain't on this phone. I bet everybody, shoot, I take some new money. Who gonna give me some? They say ain't nobody gonna give us none. We just gonna have to earn it. You know what I'm talking about? Make me think about, remember they said, what song that was? I forget what pop song it was though. But he showed that, told him that though. He said, boy, ain't nothing free, boy. Get back what you earn. You know, that's what done messed us up in America. We think something free and we don't want to go earn it. You know what I'm saying? Even when we were sitting there talking about what we were talking about with Ed, man, we don't want to take nothing from you. We want to go earn it. Ain't nobody trying to take nothing from you. We trying to make you make some more money. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I'm telling you, right, how many of y'all by show of hands, somebody came and told you, check this out, man, we'll take all the business over. Keep your name on it. If we make $15,000 in a month, we gonna give you 10. How many of y'all have a problem with that? Any of y'all have a problem with that? How many of y'all would accept that offer immediately? Well, this nigga looking at us crazy like he ain't want to accept that. Like we telling you we gonna give you 10. You know what I'm saying? So we pretty much, if you take it, if we saying if we get 20, we saying, well shoot, we gonna give you like 16 or about 15, 14. We know what I'm talking about? All you doing is just sitting back doing this here, collecting checks. That's all you doing. You know what I'm saying? But the objective, man, what I was telling y'all about is, man, is just doing business together. Like when we said we went out there and hollered at that dude at that car wash. You know what I'm saying? Like this man, like this here, he said, yeah, y'all niggas thought all I did was wash cars. He's like, boy, I got a real, somebody said, son, yeah, boy, you can do that with your real estate license. He's like, man, be quiet. Let them think all I do is wash cars. You know what I'm saying? That man got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And he just put something up the other day talking about, man, how many of y'all who in the detailing tired of paying rent and want a business partner, man? He said, man, we could go in and get this spot right now. Like he put this up here in a sports group. Like, nigga, screw what you nigga talk about a basketball player and all this here. Man, which one of you niggas want to get some money? We get this money together. Black people only. Which is the only people who really in the group, you know what I'm saying? But he like really like black people only. He don't want to do business with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? He want to do business with his own people so we can all eat together. That's why I told you. He washing cars in Brentwood. He stay in Kernan Lakes. You think he stay in Kernan Lakes by washing cars in Brentwood? You know what I'm talking about? You know that man once he told me he stayed in Kernan Lakes, I said, I know that man getting money something else, but you ain't getting money washing no cars, stay in Kernan Lakes, boy. I know you can make some money out here. You ain't making that kind of money. You got to be doing something else. Cause them easily 6-figure homes out there in Kernan Lakes, man. Easily over $200,000. You ain't making that much money selling washing no cars. Man, I'd probably say the average person wash cars, man, if they good at it, man, they probably could get them about $80,000 a year. If they doing a lot of volume, which ain't a bad living in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just sitting back saying when you turn around, if you just sit back I'm just talking about sitting back looking in America though. Because in America, if you go by how they break these finances down, that's not a lot of money. By the time they get finished with it, you actually probably make about 30. You know what I'm saying? But you should be able to manage with that down. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at somebody who's making $20,000 in America, they probably only really make like 8. You know what I'm saying? Like they really, really raping you. Like when these people talking about they want to raise the minimum wage to $15 and people complaining, and the dudes say, man, you know what they gonna do? They just gonna raise the cost of living. You know what I'm saying? He said balance out. He was like, you stupid idiots, the game is going just how it's supposed to go. They got it set up just how they want it set up. You know what I'm saying? So if we sitting back and we saying that, okay, we in the same thing, we doing the same thing. I told you before, that doesn't mean you have to do business with each other. You know what I'm saying? You don't mean being business partners, but you can do business where you can help one person business and they can help your business and everybody's making money. But we ought to sit back and look at Black Wall Street, how they operated and operate in the same fashion. You know what I'm talking about? Because, boy, our forefathers operated like that. They did business with each other, man. You know what I'm saying? They tried to come up with one another. We don't think like that no more. We think fragmented. You know what I'm saying? Me.
People think so.
Yeah, but that's how America done got you, though. You went to separating from thinking of each other as a group to thinking about yourself as an individual. Because why envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways? That's how he think. You know what I'm saying? He think like that. When you look at most people that have melanin in them, they don't operate like that. Go look at them Hispanic people. They don't think singular. They think group. Go look at Asian people. They don't think singular. They think group. Go look at Arabs. They don't think singular. They think group. You know what I'm talking about? You come over here to America, even with African people, they don't think singular. They think group. Now you come over here to America with black people, I'm out for mine, boy. Where did you get that from? You got that from them. You got that from them. You know what I'm saying? So then when you turn around and you try to sit down with black people and try to come with that co-op and come with that collective, we resist that because we have envied our oppressor. We chose his ways. He thinks singular. You know what I'm saying? They the one talking about this lonely at the top. We ain't never said nothing like that because it wasn't nobody never amongst our people who were trying to get to the top. When you look at David, he was at the top, but he was steady trying to bring people with him. Remember when we looked at him dividing up the goods, he didn't sit back and look at, well, oh, those who came, they could get it and screw the rest. He said the same amount go to them that wait by the stuff as them who came. Everybody get the same. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a Mashiach, he ain't sit back and look at, when they say, who's the greatest among us? He said, man, what you mean? He said, man, you serve and serve one another. So don't be worrying about who the greatest. Y'all supposed to work together. But you worrying about, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. That's not our way. That's not how we operate. That ain't never been how we operated. You know what I'm saying? That's how they operate. That's why they were scared of Black Wall Street. That's why they were scared of the Black Panther. That's why they was even scared of the Southern Leadership Conference and everything else that they were doing. Because these were black people that were working together and not having no agenda that I got to be the man. It just was certain people that was out in front because they had those particular skills. I told you when I was in prison, man, it was me and this dude named Jovan Anderson. I told y'all that before. And somebody came and said, man, which one the smartest one out of y'all two? And we both looked at him like, nigga, what do you mean? You sound retarded. You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me that it has to be a competition of one up in between two black men? We have to do that? That's what they do. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be like that. You turn around and you look at white folks, man, they tell you that get your people, put them in a home. You know what I'm saying? Most black people, man, and you go back and look, we ain't put our people in no home. You know what I'm saying? We kept them to the house, took care of them till they died. It wouldn't matter if it was your mama, your daddy, great-grandma, great-granddaddy, grandma, granddaddy, brother, uncle, cousin, whoever. They was incapacitated. I ain't putting my people in no home. We gonna stay right here in the house. And guess what? The whole family came through and took care of them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just rotated and picked days. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, I got to work on Tuesday. I got to work on Wednesday. Shoot round there. That's why I was telling y'all. That's why I ain't like how they were talking about my brother. Because my brother taking care of my daddy and his grandma. Y'all ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about how he quit his job. He trying to use them for their money. But y'all ain't around here doing it. He the one bathing them and washing them and changing their diapers. And when they fall in the floor, picking them up, making sure they get their medication, cooking their food, doing all that. Where you niggas at? Y'all ain't doing it. That's a job in itself. He ought to be compensated for it. He don't even want none. Do you know what I'm talking about? For him, it's more to shoot. He told me, he said it all the time. He said, boy, I'm having the time of my life. Being with my grandma and my daddy. He said, ain't nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mentality that we supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? Most people, you dealing with these white folk, put in a home. Who you think came up with old folks' homes? We ain't come up with it. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't how we supposed to be, man. We supposed to look out for each other. We got to go from having that Eurocentric mind, though I don't like to use that term because of the idiots that associated with it. But in truth, we supposed to go from a Eurocentric mind to a Hebraic mind. We supposed to think how our people thought and move how our people moved. You know what I'm saying? We don't do stuff like that. So come on back over here to Hosea 14. You know, I had seen a sister was talking about she felt like, I'm gonna ask y'all how y'all feel about that. I know how T feel about it. About having congregations, having their own schools to teach the kids. You know, she said she didn't really agree with it because I guess she done seen this in other congregations that if certain people don't agree with certain things, you know, they would boot them out and all this other type of stuff. And she was like, she think it should be separate, you know what I'm saying, all that. And I understood where she was coming from, because she really talking about them New York camps, man, how they operate, how they roll. You know what I'm saying? If y'all was to ever allow us to be able to do something like that, I wouldn't. I mean, the curriculum gonna be what it is. You know, you would know what it was before you placed your child in it. You know what I'm saying? If that's not something you want to do, then I mean, you wouldn't have to do it. Like, I guess they try to make it seem like it's requirements that people got to put, if they part of the congregation, you got to put your child in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do nothing. If you was like, I want to send my child to public school, that's your business. I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm talking about? If I had an option, I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you want to homeschool your child personally, that's your option. Like, how can somebody come and tell somebody really what to do with their child? I can't tell you what to do with your child. I can give a suggestion. But then I got to make sure that suggestion is even solicited, that you even want it. You know what I'm talking about? Because I know y'all know people be coming up, probably be making suggestions y'all about y'all kids, don't. You don't even be asking for it, do it. How y'all feel when somebody do that? Nigga got me bent. I don't care if you pay a bill. When you know what I'm talking about? When you did the humping and grinding to make them, then you could talk to me about it. You ain't do that there, shoot, I don't even want you to pay a bill, because I don't want you to have no right to come in here and tell me what to do with mine.
I ain't gonna accept money for the bill.
Ain't sense. I feel you. I ain't even finna tell you pay a bill. Last time I checked, I ain't impregnate you. I don't care what you gotta say. I heard that. Kira just said she been thinking about a school for weeks now with a school band. Kira wanna have a band. Kira, them children too young talking about a band. I can see Lizzie now trying to play a trumpet. Trumpet bigger than her. Lizzie look like she'll want to play an instrument. You want to play an instrument, Lizzie? Nope. So we're going to read verse 9 again. Now, Jose. He said, who is wise and who shall understand these things? Prudent, and he shall know them, for the ways of Yahuwah are right, and the just gonna walk in them. So let's sit back and look at it. You know what it means to be prudent, right? It means to be discreet. I think we want Philippians chapter 1, I believe. I had something totally different in my head coming here, and I ain't got nowhere close to it, and I ain't even gonna try it. Let me make sure Philippians 1 is what I want. So that's what it is. Philippians chapter 1 and about verse 7. He said, even as it is meet, Philippians 1 and about verse 7, even as it is meet for me to think this of you all, because I have you in my heart, insomuch as in both my bonds and in the defense and confirmation of the gospel, ye are all partakers of my grace. Remember what he said, my fruit, thy fruit is found where? In me, right? In the Mashiach, right? Now, what y'all think this mean when he said it was even meet for me to think this of you because I have you in my heart? Inasmuch as both in my bonds and in the defense and confirmation of my preaching, of the gospel, of the good news, ye are partakers of my grace. What do you think this would mean? You know what it means to confirm something, right? Make it good, right? Then we read last night about none of these things will fail. Now let's turn around and look at something as it pertains to a Mashiach, what Paul's stating right here, in my bonds and in defense and in confirmation of the gospel. First person I'm going to think of before we even look at the Mashiach is let's go look at Jeremiah 26. Let's look at somebody in bonds and let's look at what he said. Was it confirmed? And did he stand in defense in what he said? And then we'll turn around and look at the Mashiach and see if that would confirm. And then see if we would be partakers of his grace or his love and favor coming from that. 26 and about 12. Jeremiah 26 and about 12. Then spake Jeremiah unto all the princes and to all the people, saying, Yahuwah sent me to prophesy against this house and against this city, all the words that ye have heard. Therefore now amend your ways and your doings, and obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, and Yahuwah will repent him of the evil that he hath pronounced against you. As for me, behold, I am in your hand, do with me as seemed good and meet unto you. But know ye for certain that if you put me to death, you shall surely bring innocent blood upon yourselves, and upon this city, and upon the inhabitants thereof. For of a truth, Yahuwah hath sent me unto you to speak all these words. Now, you know Jeremiah's locked up right now, isn't he? You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at Samson, right? He was locked up in bonds too, wasn't he? And he stood in defense of what Yahuwah told him to, didn't he? And then what he said was confirmed too, because remember, we talked about this a long time ago, that just like Samson killed more in his death than when he was alive, that Yahushua saved more people in his death than when he was alive. Because we talking about generations that came later. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot more people saved by this man's death than when he was actually walking the earth, because many of them didn't believe on him. You know what I'm saying? So he stood in defense of that, even in bonds, and we were able to be partakers of that grace or that gift that Samson gave, because when Samson died, that freed us from the hand of the Philistines, didn't it? So we were able to be partakers of that grace because he was in these bonds And he defended that. And then he confirmed what had been given unto him. Now we see Jeremiah is telling them that Babylon is going to come through here and destroy this place while he's in bonds, and he's standing in defense of what he's saying is true. Now let's go look at a Mashiach when it comes to that in Matthew 20 and 20. That's why he say, who knows me? Who done searched it out? He say the just gonna walk therein. When you sit back and look at it, you know we start almost every week with what? Search the scriptures, right? So if you was gonna seek the understanding of Yah, what would you have to do? You would need to search it. Once you searched it, you would have heard it. And get you Acts 17 and 9 to go along with that. We were still holding Acts 17. Maybe we'll get back to it. We also holding Daniel 12 too. We ain't holding nothing else here. When we look at it, right, all these things still turning back to how Mashiach or Michael is like Elohim, man. Because he got the ability and power to do. Where you going to get the fruit of everlasting life from? You got to get it from Yah, right? I'm sorry, about 20 and 26. We'll make it 24 though. Matter of fact, I'm going to read 20 and 20. He put that in my head for a reason since we said that about that different in that beef. You know what I'm saying? And what Mashiach told him. Then came him to the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons worshiping him, desiring a certain thing of him. He said unto her, what will thou? She saith unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one on the right hand and the other on the left in thy kingdom. But Yahusha answered and said, ye know not what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I drink of? How many of y'all feel like you able to drink of that cup? Y'all remember when we looked at that cup? When you going to drink of that cup, that means you going to drink of the affliction of Yahuwah right there. Hamashiach took and drunk. You realize that when you take that cup during unleavened bread, you saying that I'm able to drink of this cup. You realize when he drank that cup, he got afflicted after that. Y'all remember that, right? Isaiah 51, Psalm 75. We done looked at this stuff in the past. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself, are you able to drink of this cup? That's why that 1 Corinthians chapter 12 tell you about don't drink of that cup unworthily. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got to be willing to drink from that cup. You got to know what come along with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling y'all last night about some of the things that done transpired. That's what come along with drinking from that cup. You know what I'm talking about? Not just with me, but anybody. That could happen to any one of y'all. That's what happened. It done happen to some of y'all, ain't it? Somebody done said something about you ain't true. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody done sprayed your name. You know what I'm talking about? You done had to deal with a little something and you ain't even did nothing wrong. You could have been on your job and them people come at you. You ain't even did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you got to wear that because you done drunk from this cup. You got to ask yourself, you willing to drink from that cup? Because if you ain't willing to drink from that cup, you got to move on. That's why a lot of people, they fall off. They wasn't able. That's why he asked them that. I'm going to read it to you again. Yahusha answered and said, you know not what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of and be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with? You able to be baptized with fire? You able to go through the furnace of affliction to be made poor? The trial of your faith is more precious than gold. You able to deal with that furnace of affliction? So you know everybody want to get in that man kingdom, but do you want to do what he did to get there? Who is like unto this man? Who are you liking to me? Who gonna search out my understanding? Who is heard? Who is known? The discreet, because that's what it means to be prudent. The discreet, the wise, they know, and the just walk therein, but the transgressors fall. That's why he said, if you don't believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. You know what I'm saying? This again, the just walking into Mashiach, know that understanding. That understanding is to walk in the Son. We just read it in 1 John 5 and 20, didn't we? So if you're going to walk in the Son, you're going to know because you done heard, because you heard it and you observed it. He said, follow me. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say when you have heard of him and you have been taught of him, you would have put off the former behavior of the old man and been renewed in the ruach of your mind and put on the new man, which was created in true righteousness and true kadesh. You'll put on the Mashiach then. Then when you put him on, guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to transgress. You're going to walk in the confidence and faith and strength of Yahuwah to the saving of your soul. You're going to endure to the end. You're going to fight the good fight of faith because there's a crown laid up for you. And not only for you, but all those who love him at his appearing. Everybody not seeking for that. Just like we know, if you learn of the Father, you're going to come to the Son. That's what the man said clearly. He even said in Isaiah 54 and 13, they'll all be taught of Yahuwah. So if you learn of Yah, you're going to learn of the Son. You learn of the Son, you're going to come to Yah, you're going to save your soul. That's common sense. But when we look at a lot of these Israelites, boy, they don't do that. I ain't even talking about these unbelievers, these transgressors. I'm talking about dudes who profess faith in the Mashiach. That's who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I see keep mentioning about that understanding because I just seen something about them fringes. I can't let that slide. We got to help Brother Mike Wash out with that there, man. He want to hear our perspective. We'll tack that on at the end. Nevertheless, look at the next thing he say. And he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed. He said, and they say unto him, we are able. How many of y'all by show of hand believe you're able? I know that's right. You got to be like, that ain't no hand, sir.
So cold, man.
Them elbows. He said, and he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left, it is not mine to give. It shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the 2 brethren. So they mad now, because they think that these 2 are over them. Look what the Mashiach tells them. But Yahusha called them unto him, and said, ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. So you see what he's telling you? Serve each other. Stop sitting back looking at, oh, I'm over you. I'm over you. I'm greater than you. I'm better than you. Okay, you better than him, then serve him like he better than you then. And vice versa. And you know what ends up happening? There's no singular in that. It's just group. The same thing he told them when he washed their feet. He said, if I, your king and master, have washed your feet, he said, you ought to wash one another's feet. I've given you an example. Blessed are ye if you do this. You know what I'm saying? Because he sat back looking at, we supposed to be a group. Stop singing. When you sit back and you look at a lot of organizations, when you sit, let's look at Rockefeller. You look at Rockefeller falling apart, it fell apart because one man wanted to be bigger than the group. You know what I'm saying? When it come down to it, one man wanted to be bigger than the people who was with him. He no longer looked at it as a collective. He looked at it as me. You know what I'm saying? And there's many other instances. I'm trying to think of other groups or organizations that fell apart. You know what I'm saying? Even to a certain extent, when you look at Goody Mob, that happened to them. You know what I'm saying? For even a certain period of time, though they didn't have no beef, it happened to Outkast. You know, it even happened to the Wu-Tang Clan to a certain extent. Because people's egos start getting in the way. You know what I'm saying? Don't let something happen and one person get some success and then he feel like he's the reason why they get success. So I should get more money. I should get more fame. I should get more notoriety. I should get more credit. So then he begins to lift himself up over the group. This is why when you read in the law in Deuteronomy 17, he say the king shouldn't multiply wise to himself or silver or gold, so he wouldn't lift himself up over his brethren. Even though he got this authority over them to rule over them, he never wanted the king to think that he was here and the people was there. He wanted them to be right there. You know what I'm saying? When you keep it like that, you got that family structure in that group, and there ain't none of that type of stuff going on. See, a lot of y'all, why that hard for you, because you come from backgrounds and environments and upbringings that teach individuality. You know what I'm saying? That is all about, you know, that's the main thing they teach in the black community, and especially in the rap songs in the hood. It's all about mine. Go for yours, bro. I got to get mine. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna let nobody. It make me think about, man, real talk. It make me think about Robert. I was talking to Boobie one day, man, about, you know what I'm saying, how black people be acting, man, in certain situations. So we go around at a Robert house, man, we smoking, man. He say he want to be a rapper. You know, I just say, man, just learn the business part. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do the business part, get that down. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go hard on the music so don't nobody screw you over. This nigga go off, a nigga ain't gonna screw me out of nothing. Nigga ain't gonna screw me out of nothing. F a nigga, nigga ain't gonna get me out of nothing. I'm down with the white man. He literally did, just like this here. Hey, Mr. White Man. I said, I'm talking about Boobie with shame. Boy, he was so hurt, man. Boy, we got back in the car. He said, boy, you was just talking about that, man. And he said, boy, he broke my heart with that right there. I said, who you telling? I said, that's your cousin. He hurt my heart. Because when it came down to black people, his own people, he went slap off about what he wasn't going to let no black. I wasn't even talking about, I didn't say no black man. I ain't say no white man. Because it don't make no difference. Why the black, when it come to business, boy, they about green and they will do you over. You know what I'm saying? And boy, he went off on black people. Then he say, boy, you know niggas ain't got nothing. I'm down with the white man. Hey, Mr. White Man. I say, boy, I want to go home and get into bed now. I don't even want to continue my day. That's the type of stuff, boy, catch you at the right time, boy, that might snatch a tear up out your eye, boy. See your people talk like that, act like that. This is how you feel about your own people. You hate yourself just that much that you'll trust your oppressor more than your brother. That you'll think your oppressor got better intentions for you than your own brother. This is the mentality we have as a people. You know what I'm saying? We don't think that we can have each other's best interests at heart. If your brother want to do something for you, you think it's an ulterior motive why he want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't never think your brother want to, like I told you, like I said, I was telling you like what I wasn't used to coming across town hustling. I done told y'all this before. Dealing with white smokers and black smokers is totally different. You know what I'm saying? A black smoker want a rock or something for everything that they do. I was dealing with white smokers, they don't want nothing. They'll buy you something. You know what I'm saying? They gonna sit back and they be like this here, yeah, man, I bought you, they don't even gotta ask them, I bought you some blunts, man. I know you smoke a lot, man. These the blunts you smoke? I got you some blunts, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I ran across my buddy, man. He had some weed, man. I brought you some weed, man. You know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff, man. They'll be like, they say, you need a ride? Don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to the store for you, man. Man, I had smokers used to come bring me breakfast from Hardee's. I was like, one of the smokers came and brought me, biscuits and gravy. I said, I appreciate it. I don't eat pork, but I appreciate you thinking about me, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asked that woman for no breakfast. She coming to the spot to cop up one. She done brought me breakfast. Boy, a nigga ain't finna bring you no breakfast. Boy, if a nigga brought you breakfast and you ain't asked, he gonna want you to give him a dub for the breakfast that he bought for you that you didn't ask him for. Man, we used to be in the spot, that nigga Crunch come through, start sweeping all that type of stuff, then he look at me talking about, let me get a dub. I'm looking at this nigga like, I ain't tell you to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I ain't getting you nothing. You know what I'm talking about? You shouldn't have took it. That's what you get for taking that upon yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you would have asked, could you got that, you might have been good. Oh, for real, he just coming in the house, what's going on, boss? I'm like, chill it, man. That nigga just grab a broom, go to sweep. I know what he doing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna let you finish too. And when you get finished, and you be like this here, so, boss man, you can hit me off, man. I ain't getting you nothing. I ain't tell you to do that, nigga. Straight up, he used to be hot too with me, boy, all the time. He loved me though now, but he was hot with me with them telling. I tell him, boy, Crunch, stop doing that. Stop doing that, man. Just say something to me. I ain't got no problem getting it to you. You volunteered though, bro. I'm gonna treat you like the army, nigga. You don't get nothing. They be like, they say, I'll go to the store for you. I'm like, man, I'll go to the store for myself. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I wasn't used to paying nobody to go to the store for me. You know what I'm saying? We go to the store ourselves. I ain't got no problem walking up here to the corner store, getting no blunt. Yeah, get me some snacks. He come out, I go for you. I keep my $10 rock, nigga. I go for myself. I want to see the neighborhood anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's why I used to like to do that there. I want to see who these niggas is. I can't see who they is if I'm sitting right here sending you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I ran across a couple of them niggas. That's how, I can't remember his name, Mr. Jones. That's why Mr. Jones told me about that dude that jumped out with that shotgun. And we told, don't you never let him in your spot. See, if I would have went up there to the store, I would have known he was that crazy because Mr. Jones would have never told me that. He said, yeah, don't trust that nigga. He crazy. He showed us that too, boy. Young nigga on base, boy, he couldn't have been no older than 25. So what? You know what I'm saying? We wasn't smoking no base though. You know what I'm talking about? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we were about 23. But we wasn't smoking no base though. That nigga was on that hard, jumping out. You want to buy a shotgun? Show dude. Go ahead, let me get that. He said that nigga raw and a killer. See, I don't know stuff about that. People your age smoking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like when that nigga Anwar came around there, he talking about, can I get that right there? I say, bro, you get whatever you want. I say, matter of fact, you go ahead take this nigga rock, man. Cause I don't want you around here talking about we nasty or nothing. You had niggas surrounding the house. You know what I'm saying? Cause I done heard about you, boy. 21 years old smoking crack, man. Rob you and kill you dead in a heartbeat. You would have seen him and didn't know him. You wouldn't know he smoked crack. That nigga kill you dead for a $20 rock, man. A $20 rock. $10 worth of merchandise. Nigga, take your life. Verse 28, man. He say, even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. Now, we got to understand something, right? When we look at that, he say the just gonna walk in it. Come back to Philippians chapter 1. That's why we came over here for. what we looked at Matthew chapter 1. When you look at the just, the blameless gonna walk therein in that understanding. The blameless is gonna walk in the Son. That's what you got to realize. You got to walk in him. Walking in him will give you, just like we talked about last night, right? Being renewed day by day. He say, even though you feel like you're gonna faint and be weary, that's because the Son would be in you. So everlasting strength will be in you. How could you faint? How could you be weary? You know what I'm saying? So you have to sit back and look at that. Though you suffering and affliction be on you, and you dealing with this day by day, you're gonna be ended up being made stronger inwardly because you put on that new man. The word of Yah dwells in you. Let me see now, where we start that? About verse 7. So when we look in verse 7, right, we got to look at how Mashiach defended and confirmed, and then we partakers of his grace. So come over here and obviously you just read a simple part right here, being a partaker of his grace right here to a certain extent. Let's sit back and look at how he defended and confirmed what he spoke. So let's look at Matthew 16. Then we'll get Matthew 16 and about 21. Then we'll get John 18 and 29. And then we'll get John chapter 17 and about verse 20. So Matthew 16 and 21, John chapter 18 and 28, and John 17 and 20. 16 and 20 actually. I didn't even see that. Oh, Kira say somebody did that for her grandma. Cut her head, just asked for $1. I don't know why black people do that too, boy. Boy, black people love to volunteer themselves for a job and expect you to pay them. You know what I'm saying? I say, boy, you gonna do all that there? How about you just go on a white folk job, start making Big Macs or something, see if they gonna pay you. Come around my house, do some yard work, act like, well, let me get $50. Nigga, ain't nobody told you to do that. He say, then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yahushua HaMashiach. And from that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed and be raised again the third day. Remember, right? We're not finna go read it. Didn't they put a Mashiach in bonds and lead him in the morning? So that's the same thing with Paul talking about, right? He in bonds. So then he got to stand in defense of the gospel. So let's look at the 26th chapter of Matthew, though, before we get to John 18, 28 and John 17. I just want to read Matthew 26 where he stand in defense. In the 62nd verse, 26 and 62. Yeah, about an hour and 50 minutes. And the high priest arose and said unto him, answer thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But Yahushua held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living Elohim, that thou tell us whether thou be the Mashiach, the son of Elohim. Yahushua saith unto them, thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, coming in the clouds of Shamahim. He had to stand in defense of everything he was talking about. When he stood in front of these people all that time and was showing them that he was the Mashiach, you see right then he had to stand in defense of that. When he said, I adjure thee, or I basically asking you to swear by Yah, are you this person? And what did he do? He stood in defense of that, didn't he? Even when Pilate told him, he said, well, what is truth? He said, for this cause I came into the world, and for this cause was I born, because everyone that is of the truth hear my voice. I'm standing in defense of what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna come around here and tell me that what I'm doing, I'm just doing it. You know what I'm talking about? That's the same thing what Moses said in the 16th chapter of Numbers about the 28th verse. He said, I've done none of these works by my own mind, but Yah has sent me to do it. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a lot of people, when they go do stuff, they do it out of their own mind. You know what I'm talking about? Moses sit back and say, boy, I ain't none of this stuff come up in my own head. I ain't come up with this on my own. I was sent here to do it. Because, you know, they were actually when Korah then were coming at him. You know what I'm talking about? He had to let that be known. Look here, nigga, I don't want to put up with you niggas. I go somewhere and sit down somewhere. Chill out. John 18 and 28. Ooh. She done went to sleep over there? Sleeping. It's cold, and like I said, feel like how Regency usually felt, huh? This how Regency, you ain't never been in Regency though. Yeah, I'm talking about, boy, we done been in there, boy. Used to be iceberg in there. Last week it was hot as fish grease in there. Now it's cold over here. I mean, I ain't cold, but it's a little brisk. Possibly. Yeah. He say, then, John 18:28, then they led Yahusha from Caiaphas unto the hall of judgment, and it was early. And they themselves went not into the judgment hall, lest they should be defiled, but that they might eat the Passover. Pilate then went out unto them and said, what accusation bring you against this man? They answered and said unto him, if he were not a malefactor, we would have not delivered him up unto thee. Then Pilate said unto them, take ye him and judge him according to your law. The Yahudim therefore said unto him, it is not lawful for us to put any man to death, that the saying of Yahusha might be fulfilled, which he spake, signifying with death he should die. Just in that alone, he defended on what he said. Just them making that statement defended that. Because we already looked at, what did we read with Samson? Shall I die in the hand of the uncircumcised? Now you turn around and he in the hand of the uncircumcised, and he just told them that he would die in the hand of the uncircumcised, which does what? Seek ye out the book of Yahuwah and read, because none of these shall fail, for everyone has his mate. Ain't nothing I said gonna fail. And he defended that. You know what I'm talking about? That's why Paul said we readily stand in defense of the gospel of Mashiach. Not finna sit here and let you talk bad about this, man. You're gonna have to see me by that. You know what I'm saying? 20th verse of the 17th chapter of John. So let's see if through that will we be able to be made partakers of his grace. John 17:20. Make it 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which believe on me through their word, that they all may be one as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. And the glory which thou gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. I have allowed them to be partakers of my grace. It's amazing how we always see these dudes talking bad about Paul, but we always seem to find this stuff where Paul get this stuff from, don't we? Come on back to Philippians chapter 1. And then we'll go back to Acts chapter 17. Swing back round to Daniel 12 and finish it on out. You know what I'm saying? Or what we started with. It's amazing. We went there to look for something else, and y'all took it way somewhere else with it. And then we're going to turn around and hopefully, mercifully, he complete the whole thing. So when we look at verse 8 of Philippians, the first chapter, as we done finished out what verse 7 means, he say, for Elohim is my record, how great I long after you all in the bowels of Yahusha HaMashiach. So he say Elohim is his record, right? What does that mean if he say Elohim is his record? His testimony. And you know what that ties back into when he say that? Y'all know what Job 16:19 say? No, we got a video named it. We dealt with it a long time ago. I mentioned it to y'all from time to time. My record is on high. My witness is in Shamahim, and my record is on high again. And we know what? What did he sit back and say? Matter of fact, I was talking to a brother about this moment. If his witness is in Shamahim and his record is on high, what would that mean? Because in Matthew 5:17, what did the Mashiach say? He say, till heaven and earth pass, one tittle or one, he say, till Shamahim and earth pass, one tittle or one jot won't pass away from the law, right? Now, where could we sit? Because I was talking to a brother about this moment. We were discussing it because he said he was going to go over that with him. Like I knew where he was going when he mentioned it because we just know where we're talking to Clark about it. So when he say that the law won't pass till Shamahim and earth pass, where would he get that from? Where would a Mashiach make this statement from? Also considering that he says Elohim is his record, which means his record is on high. He's testifying that that's what's on high. A Mashiach said in the 5th chapter of John the same thing, right? I got a witness that's greater than John, We already read in John 8, he said, you say I bear record of myself, but my record is true because I know where I come. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. The things in Shamahim, are they eternal or are they temporal? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, when we talk about that, not the heaven that we see. You know what I'm saying? Not like we look up the sky and see that there. We talking about, well, the Most High dwell. There, that's eternal. So when we sitting back and we looking at that, we need to look at this in Deuteronomy 30. One 158. 30 and about 18, 19. We'll get right onto it. He says, I call Shamahim and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou may love Yahuwah thy Elohim, and that thou may obey his voice, and that thou may cleave unto him. For he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou may dwell in the land which Yahuwah sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Don't you see how he called the record? So Shamahim and earth can't pass, because all ain't been fulfilled. If it passed and everything ain't being fulfilled, then Moses just lied. You know what I'm talking about? Why you think Mashiach will come back around and say that till Shamahim and earth pass? Because it's been called the record against you. You know what I'm saying? That's been called against you. You know how many times do we read about this here? He say, boy, I bear record against you from on high and on the earth that you better keep this covenant. This is what's going to happen to you. You know what I'm talking about? It's in Deuteronomy 32 too, ain't it? He said the same thing. So when you see a Mashiach coming around saying the same thing, we know that this is Genesis of this is in the law. The beginning of this is from the law. So now we turn around and look at, we see that these things will not pass away till everything is completed. So that's why we seek to become those things that are on high, because these things are eternal. They can't be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You want your witness to be on high. That's why you say my record is in Elohim. My record is on high. Meaning what? My name is written in the book of life, which is in Shamahim. Is it not? That's where the book of life at, ain't? If your name written in that book, now I can remember this here. He know this here, because I done said this here, boy. When we were young. I ain't know nothing about, I told you, I ain't deal with no Christianity. But when I read in this book, boy, about that book of life, boy, hit my mind, boy, you need your name now. You know what I'm talking about? I done told some of y'all this before, just dealing with the word wise, boy. If you ain't got your name written nowhere else, well, you want your name written there now. That's where you want your name at, because that means Elohim is your record. That means your lifestyle bears record that your name is written in Shamahim and your name is eternal. You know what I'm saying? If your name ain't on high, boy, you in trouble. You know, Malachi told you those who feared Yahuwah, he said he wrote a book of remembrance to all those who feared him and thought upon his name. If you thinking upon his name, that means you thinking upon his word. And if you think upon the word, that means you thinking upon his son. If you thinking on his son, that means you heard of him and you observed him because you saw that understanding, because that's where your fruit come from. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to sit back and look at that and think about them type of things, man. You know what I'm saying? This thing is more serious than what people give it credit for. Now, I know, I know T and you and y'all done dealt with a lot of Israelite dudes and seen a lot of crazy stuff and all this type of stuff. Maybe wasted a little time here and there. But boy, when you got an opportunity to get it on the straight and get it on point, boy, ain't nothing like it, boy, because you're getting an understanding to be able to save your soul. You know what I'm saying? You notice I don't even post nothing about the word on Facebook no more. What? Niggas don't even deserve it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being honest with you, because most of them either going to gloss over it or they going to want to argue. You know what I'm saying? Argue for what? What I look like arguing with a grown man for, man? It'd be different if we trying to come together on a mutual agreement on something. But these dudes don't even want to know. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and look at, why would I want to waste time on people who don't want to know when I could take that same valuable time and share it with somebody who want to know? You know what I'm saying? These dudes don't even really want to know for real. Just want to argue. Just want a name. What you care about a name for? But you worry about niggas in the street knowing who you is, but y'all don't know who you are. Remember what them unclean spirits said to them people who would come around there trying to cast them out? They say, Yahusha, we know. Shaul, we know, but nigga, who are you? You know what I'm saying? That means if the unclean spirits don't know you, you know y'all don't know you. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot. I'm trying to make sure y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. The fame, if you get fame for notoriety for what you're doing, y'all give it to you. You need to go seek that from no man. You know what I'm saying? It'll speak for itself. You know, your work will speak for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't y'all realize you do good work that speak for itself? Your reputation will precede you. Sometimes we forget about that. That's why you see it said with a Mashiach, what he did. He was a man of no reputation. That means he didn't craft no reputation. He didn't speak of himself. He didn't boast in himself. He let another man do it, just like the book said. You know what I'm talking about? His reputation preceded him because what he did. People spoke of him because his work spoke for itself. I heard about bruh nice with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it happens. Come on back, finish this Philippians chapter 1, man. We get ready to get out on out here, man. Huh? Yeah, I'll probably just do that separate from this, though. Because it ain't going to take long for me to do it. It says, verse 9, and this I pray you, that your love abound yet more and more in knowledge and in judgment, that you may be approve things that are excellent, and that you may be sincere without offense till the day of Mashiach. Same way Yahushua son of Nun told you to serve this man in sincerity and truth. You know what I'm saying? Be sincere about what you're doing. Don't do this thing as being men pleasers. Don't be men pleasers. You know what I'm saying? Doing things to be seen of men. You know what I'm saying? Do stuff because that's from your heart, because it come from here. Because it come from here. Because that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Even when people do you wrong. You know, I done told T this for the long. Somebody do you wrong, don't stop doing nice stuff for them. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Do it because that's what you're supposed to do, because I'm doing it from my heart. I ain't doing it because you a nasty bastard. You know what I'm talking about? It's going to show the difference between you and me. Oh, come on, Lizzie. Verse 11. Being filled with the fruit of righteousness, which are by Yahushua HaMashiach unto the glory and praise of Elohim. So the only way you're going to get that fruit of righteousness, you got to get it from Mashiach. And the only way you're going to get that is through your faith in him. And once through that faith in him, what you going to do? You're going to follow him, right? Let's finish this Acts chapter 17. Matter of fact, don't even worry about Acts chapter 17. Just finish this Daniel chapter 12. And then I hit this fringes thing. And did some of y'all ever heard me actually go through this fringes thing before?
Yeah. 12.
Always got one in the crowd. It's always one. 12 and 1. Because it's 5 o'clock, so we started about 1:45, so. But do y'all understand how that Hosea 14:8-9 went with him? And again, you see how that went on what we were talking about last night. And then hopefully y'all willing, we'll go into it even more deep about searching out that understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, he said that understanding surpassed all knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Well, the understanding of Mashiach surpassed anything you can come across. 12 and 1 though. So we said, have we ascertained that how actually Mashiach, Yahushua, is actually Michael? You know what I'm saying? They actually think Michael gonna come from on high. He the one gonna come save us. So which one is it? Is Michael gonna come save us, or is David gonna come save us? Because that's what they're saying. Both of them can't do it. It said, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince. You heard what he said? What's a great prince? What's prince here, Troy? Ruler. What did he, the name Yasharal mean what? But what he said that before as a what? A prince. Just what you just said, though, it just came before that. Because you ain't wrong. You ain't said nothing wrong. I was looking at coming before. He said as a prince. Or as a ruler. What did he tell? What did Peter testify of in the 5th chapter of Acts, right? That he made a Mashiach what? A prince.
Isaiah 96.
That too, he's called a prince. Matter of fact, even in Ezekiel 46, he's called the prince. These men try to say in Ezekiel when they're talking about the prince who's doing these sacrifices, that's David. David ain't never been no prince. He ain't never been no ruler. So when we look at it, it says, at that time shall he who is as Elohim, the great prince. That's a Mashiach. He say, withstand for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble since never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time shall thy people be delivered. Every one that shall be found written in the book. Because my record is in Shamahim. Where you gonna find that book at? Where them records at? He say, many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame and contempt. Because even as the Father have judgment, he has given judgment to the Son of Man, that he might execute judgment as well. As the Son of Man have life in himself, the Father have life in himself, so is he giving the Son to have life in himself. How are these people going to wake up to everlasting life? They get to everlasting life when he who is like Elohim, the great ruler, comes. And if Michael is he who is as Elohim and he's the great prince, that means you could basically say, and at that time shall Michael stand up, Yasharal will stand for the children of thy people, which will turn around again to say, he who rules as Elohim. Same thing again. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. He say, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. That's what it all boiled down. If the love of Yah was in you, you would see his son and you would believe in him. It's simple as that. But we already know, and that's how we know he coming back. You know, obviously him coming back was a small thing what we were looking at. Y'all understood all that though? Praise Yah for Yahushua, man. Let me stop the record on this.